Films.
Films.
They're an exciting time in our life.
Exciting.
You know, if you want to be a part of it, there's this place that we've talked about before, and in case you're new, it's called Full Sail University. John.
Yeah?
Can you start telling them a little bit about what that is? And maybe I'll interject.
Working in the film industry is an exciting opportunity and a rewarding experience. You might not know how to get involved or even what you would want to do. You just know that you want to make a movie. Well, Full Sail can help you with that.
They offer degrees on campus and on the internet, otherwise known as online, that can really show you what it's like to work on a film from start to finish. You even get to work hands-on with the same equipment the professionals use. Best way to learn? Experience.
They have a campus undergraduate program that basically gives you access to and an overview of pretty much every part of the process. So if you don't know what you want to do, you can have experience behind the camera with editing, with writing, with directing. You know, you can really find your niche.
Also check out the online digital cinematography degree where you can learn online basics with a cinematic digital spin.
Full Sail grads have worked on all kinds of big and recognizable movies. Avengers, Age of Ultron, Jurassic World, Frozen, to name a few.
I think they worked on Minions as well. If you want to find out more about these film programs and how to get started, visit the link in the description box, otherwise known as bit.ly/capital FS dash, this is still all caps, FLM.
It's an abbreviated link.
It's an abbreviated link, so none of what I'm saying matters.
Yeah, because it'll probably reroute you to like fullsail.com/blah blah blah. But
really?
Since that's yeah, it's an abbreviated link.
So shouldn't we actually find out the real link for these people?
Learn.fullsail.edu/fullsail/ so much code. Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot to remember.
Just put check out.
Do I have to say all that?
You don't.
It's at least 150 words. Are you sure I have to say all that?
You don't have to say all that.
Alright, I guess I'm not going to say it, but that's my choice. Visit them. Guys, I'm sure you all know about a thing called the cinematic universe. There's a lot of cinematic universes that are being formed these days, people.
Yeah.
It's a little too much, in my opinion. It's like people saw that Marvel was doing it well, then everyone was like, well, how do we do this out of everything?
Anytime somebody does something that really works and makes money, everyone's like, we also have to do that now.
Yeah, like DC doing that, not a complaint. Because I'm like, well, yeah, it's a comic book, universe movie.
It's the same kind of theory.
Yeah, exactly. So that totally makes sense. But then I'm hearing these other kinds, which I guess are not totally different because they got the classic horror movies now. Rebooting The Mummy, they're rebooting The Wolfman, and they want them all to be connected. And I guess they kind of did that with the original black and white films, sort of. I don't think that was their intention back then.
I don't know. I mean,
this seems like they're we got to make sure these all.
They were the universal monsters, and sometimes they met Abbott and Costello. The cinematic universe now is you're always aware of the connections between the different movies, and it's always about crossover. And I don't feel like those old movies did that as much.
They're gonna cross over the 21 Jump Street with the new Men in Black. I could see that working, honestly, because then the Men in Black movie will feel like a spin-off of that movie.
I'm only really excited about that because it's so strange. I'm like, yeah, if you're gonna use this for something that sounds weird on paper, I'm always happy when somebody does that. It's not the same thing as all of these,
You know what I'm really regretting?
What?
I came in here to talk about my problems with it. All I'm finding is me getting excited for these movies as I'm talking about. It's pretty cool, actually. Think about it, man.
I think it's cool when they use it the right way, and some of these cinematic universes sound cool, and some of them I'm like, why do we need this?
I guess the worrisome thing is when I feel like it's thrown in your face. When Iron Man 2 did it. That was everyone's big, rebuttal with Iron Man 2 was that it was really late. Look at the Avengers, we're gonna be there.
Batman v Superman does it too.
Batman v Superman
they really cram these crossovers in, and you're like, I didn't need this in this movie.
The X-Men cinematic universe is separate from the MCU, but the X-Men cinematic universe, you got Deadpool, and you had the X-Men First Class. Yeah. You got your own Wolverine movies now.
I like it when they do that. When they use it as a storytelling tool, I think it's cool. When they use it just to remind you that other movies exist, it gets a little frustrating to me. I feel like Easter eggs aren't as fun as they used to be, because now an Easter egg is oh, that's probably going to lead to another franchise or something. Yeah,
you see, the problem with these cinematic universes now, though, there's something that seems unorganic or unnecessary to the point where it's like they're just trying to it's like when you do a sequel that doesn't need to be done, or like a remake that doesn't need to be done. Like the Star Wars Cinematic Universe, I think is a good idea. This is what I mean, now I'm loving it again.
Well,
the Star Wars Cinematic Universe, I think, is cool because it's a galaxy, now you get to explore so many different people.
It's not unheard of for that series in general break outside of movies. Like there are Star Wars books and video games and comics, and there's so much lore and so many different things to pick apart. It's not just the movie.
And it was the biggest prequels of all time.
Star Wars lends itself because it is a universe with multiple planets and political situations and wars and stuff. Like, you can do a lot there. I feel like if the project lends itself, I'm happy. I just get weary when every week there's a new cinematic universe we're gonna have to have. I'm like, does Hasbro need one?
Well, think about it, man. G.I. Joe and Transformers coming together. Imagine if they had Mark Wahlberg and Dwayne Johnson in a Transformers movie together. I haven't even thought about that till right now, this very moment.
That doesn't sound that fun. Like, because I've already seen...
What are you talking about?
Because the Transformers trailers always look fun, and then everyone I see, I'm like, it's...
You know what just honestly kind of ticks me off about the whole cinematic universe thing is it's pretty much what sparked it was fucking Batman v Superman. was the tie-ins of like
Marvel,
really.
Though.
No, okay, Marvel like annoyed me at some point. But Batman v Superman, when they promoted Justice League, when they just were like, "Hey, here's a Justice League trailer for you in the middle of the movie," with really no strong tie-ins.
Well, that like that
was when I was like,
frustrating.
That's when I got really annoyed with this whole idea.
But their whole campaign for Batman v Superman seemed like they didn't care about that movie and they wanted to get right to Justice League.
There's the Kaiju cinematic universe now, where they're going to take Godzilla, they're rebooting the King Kong world, and then King Kong and Godzilla are going to verse each other. Hey man, we've been wanting that for a long time. I don't care how cheesy and fucking stupid it sounds and how it kind of ruins Gareth Edwards' Godzilla. Because his Godzilla was like, this is a special Godzilla.
Yeah.
And now it's like, we're gonna franchise and turn this into a cinematic universe. You know?
Some people don't like his Godzilla. I really did, and I'm bummed to not see that continue, because that was a chance to kind of do something a little different, and now they're taking it and turning it into the thing that's so now.
It's gonna be like Godzilla in your face, most likely, as opposed to
the stuff that made the movie so cool. They're gonna do the opposite.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, hey, Kong versus Godzilla could be cool, but I'd rather just see them continue those stories.
You see, okay, like one unnecessary cinematic universe, like I guess could work, but I honestly think no one's really gonna give a shit. They're trying to make a Robin Hood cinematic universe. You do movies of the other merry men.
Oof.
I'm like, I don't think anyone's that interested.
There's like a small chance that could just be gangbusters and everyone will love it and there will be a Robin Hood resurgence. My initial reaction to it is like, who asked for that?
This is the closest thing movies will get to being as good as like how some television shows get to be though sometimes.
I don't know about that.
Listen, you haven't seen Captain America Civil War, have
I'm
you?
not saying it can't happen, but...
Hold on, John.
I don't think
Have you seen Captain America Civil War?
No.
That movie is brilliant.
That's one movie out of a cinematic universe that works.
But
inherently, it works.
So impactful.
I'm
It
sure.
is so impactful.
I'm not saying they won't...
Because it had its time to lead up to that.
True, but I don't think cinematic universes are the key to that essence. Like...
Fair point. I don't know what I was so mad about. I think it was just because you didn't see Captain America Civil
I
War.
would love to go
really
see
annoyed.
Captain America Civil War. Find a screening. I was on a plane that day. I'm sorry.
There should be some cinematic universes that they should really go out of their way to make. The Godfather cinematic universe.
Well, because now I'm wondering, like, are they going to ever change the genre, or a cinematic universe is going to always be, you know, generally high-concept action movies?
I feel like if you're going to franchise shit, you might as well go with a cinematic universe instead of just a bunch of sequels.
There's a benefit to that, I guess, yeah, because you can do spin-offs, you can do
and
variety, you can
people will
explore
be more into
more.
it. Because that's what makes a television show work for so long. They're like these great fucking TV shows nowadays. Because sometimes movies don't have enough time for character because they gotta deliver plot. And these big kind of fucking films, they tend to sacrifice character a little bit more for plot. As opposed to the shows, like the Daredevil show I love, Jessica Jones, there's a lot of character. Like a heavy amount of character.
I almost feel like the budget range that is disappearing from movies, you know, like that sort of nice middle ground of mid-budget movies have just moved and become television shows. You don't have necessarily the budget to make a movie's worth of a set piece every time, but you can put some great action, and then you have to fill that in with better character development, better stories, And also just, you can, because you don't have to wrap this up in 3 hours. I don't know if that could help movies or not. I don't know if movies are going to get better about those things just because they have cinematic universes. It would be nice if they did.
Listen, okay, I know a great one, and this is a genuine one, not a funny one.
Okay.
Now, some might say this already exists. I don't think so. The Lord of the Rings cinematic universe. Johnny?
Maybe.
We're just part of Middle Earth.
If they're like the
There's
Hobbit,
a no, that's what I mean, okay? Peter Jackson just goes somewhere else. George Lucas himself out of the situation,
Del
you know what I mean?
Give it to Del Toro.
Or someone, to just do a separate movie in the world.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like Legolas the movie. Let's do another movie. That's what makes the video games of some of these Lord of the Rings based games so worthwhile, is the fact that they're like, there's a cool part of the story I didn't know about. And that's kind of like what Star Wars is doing too with their older films.
That's the tricky part, and I don't exactly know what the magic key is to that. Is like some of these cinematic universes come out and they make sense, and I'm like, oh yeah, there are lots of different stories you can tell. And then some of them I'm like, what makes this story worth, telling?
The Friends cinematic universe. Get all the original actors back for Friends, and each one of them gets their own movie, and then they come together for the 7th movie. All the friends come back. The Nintendo cinematic universe. Dude, okay, this video started off with me not liking cinematic universes. I want to get involved. I'm your guy.
I don't know. I think it's cool when it's in the right place.
Dude, the Nintendo
and it doesn't need
cinematic
to be
universe,
everything.
You do a bunch of different animated films. You bring them all together for like one of them, the Super Smash Brothers movie. The Mario Party movie.
It'd just be like Mortal Kombat.
They could do something where like someone brought them into this one universe together, that magic hand from Super Smash Brothers that just attacks you.
I'm still waiting for the good fighting game movie. I know. Can you make a good movie out of a fighting video game?
Dude, I think you can make a great Tekken film if someone took their time to actually like look at the story for a second.
Yeah, why does that happen with video game movies so much? Is they always come out and they have almost nothing to do with the game.
Once one video game movie gets it right, we're gonna get many video game movies.
Silent Hill needs better dialogue, but I thought I got it mostly right.
I heard Legendary's working on a real life Pokemon movie.
I'm curious.
Gotta catch them all.
I feel like I'm so married to what they look like as cartoons, I don't know how I would deal with real people, but that would be part of the fun.
I'll have you know I'm auditioning for Brock. I'm horny, Misty!
I don't know, I feel like cinematic universes...
I want to play Gary.
You should.
I should be Gary.
Yeah, you should be.
Hey, Ash. Gonna go catch more Pokemon with my bitches tonight. Yeah, I got Nurse Joy over here.
I'm cool, I got a backpack.
I got a backpack. Oh, going to Viridian City.
Yeah.
Catch you on the flip side. I'm gonna ride my Bulbasaur. That's right, that's how strong my Bulbasaur is. I can ride him the whole way there.
For a minute there was franchises and now it's cinematic universes, and I get a little worried when people are only looking into the future. I just want everybody to focus on the movie at hand. Because it's really easy to screw up a movie trying to set up a cinematic universe. Like, you still have to find that magic middle point where you're still caring about each movie and not just calculating.
I like it when cinematic universes form uniquely and organically. Like Deadpool, I felt really worked in terms of the X-Men universe.
Well, yeah, and I feel like a lot of people cared about it.
It didn't feel forced in there, and a lot of people, yeah, that's what I mean. People cared about it, and when it delivered. It was unique, it was different, it wasn't like any of the X-Men films.
Well, and that was a movie that took so much convincing. It's like everyone had to be like, I don't know, like it wasn't a marketable idea and they found a way to work it.
Yeah, it's like one of the highest grossing R-rated films of all time.
Yeah.
I think it is like, no, I don't want to say that.
And in terms of cinematic universe movies, that's one I've seen recently where I was like, thank you for acknowledging what's, kind of wrote about these movies and doing something unique. Just being yourself and doing something a little new and commenting on the genre and trying to expand it, And I feel like if people infuse these movies with that kind of spirit, that sort of like, genuine loving care for the value of the property, then this could be really cool. I just don't think that everything has to be a cinematic universe, Because part of the magic of Deadpool is that it came out the side, Because what's the Deadpool cinematic universe? How's that going to play into the rest of Marvel and the rest of X-Men? Because it doesn't exactly match them, It's like X-Men can come to Deadpool, but can Deadpool go to X-Men?
I can't do this.
I'm just saying, but this is a reasonable concern. Like,
no, I was just caught up in what I was doing.
Okay, all right.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
If you're new to YouTube, this is called a channel.
You're gonna want to set up an account.
You're gonna want to set up an account.
Get it at Gmail.
Because if you probably, after watching this, you're gonna be like, I want to get notified whenever these guys have a new video. dude.
Always.
Subscribe to the Real Rejects. John, for some reason, is called Reasons to Jerry, and find out why. Hopefully you'll
I gotta
find the
change it,
answer.
I don't know.